Clients, customers of the Himalaya Exchange, my name is Brad Geyer. I represent you, and I wanted to give you a briefing on where we stand in our action against the United States government to get your money returned. Last Friday, we submitted a reply against the Department of Justice's objections to our motion to return your property. Our detailed response systematically dismantled the Department of Justice's objections and exposed severe flaws in their arguments. In their reply, which was filed only 24 hours after the court quickly ordered the government to respond to our motion by December 19th, the government referred to you as, quote, purported customers, unquote, as if you don't exist, as if you're not genuine Himalaya customers, as if you're not authentic, and that is preposterous. And in our reply to their response, we explained exactly why that was, and we notified the court that given the Department of Justice's baseless skepticism about your authenticity and the fact that you really exist, we asked the exchange to have an independent law firm retain an independent auditing firm to audit my clients and confirm for submission to the court that you actually exist. This is no reason to be concerned. There's no personal information about any of you that is being disclosed. The government also questioned whether I had the authority or the standing to march into the district court and make the filing that I did. The judge, as I said, responded to our filing within 24 hours. And the court has yet to rule, but we're very hopeful that the court will see the wisdom of having you effectively represented. So that's where the criminal case stands. And we're in the process of putting together a reply to file as early as tomorrow to address the court and provide the court with important context and an audit report, I hope, that authenticates that you are real customers. I think the court will find it very compelling. Quite frankly, I think my former colleagues on the other side of the table will accept that as proper proof and authentication as well. Now, separately, there's this Chapter 11 reorganization. When all this happened to Miles Go, I understand he made an attempt to reorganize his assets, to get everybody paid off, restructure things. He filed a Chapter 11 bankruptcy reorganization. The trustee who was assigned is named Luke Despens. This is a completely separate, it should have nothing to do with the criminal case. But my concerns, and the reason I want to bring it to your attention, because he's not going down easy, and he just made a filing yesterday, about 5 pages. He raises a lot of red herrings, and I think that his approach, with me at least, raised some red flags, and I think you deserve to know about it. It's going to be a little tricky with him. He seems to be pursuing a strategy that hinges on his ability to get your money into the Miles Guo, his reorganized Chapter 11 estate. Now, we know Miles Guo has nothing to do with the Himalaya Exchange, and we know that the operations and compliance programs that relate to the exchange have nothing to do with the defendants. But that is not going to stop this trustee from trying to roll your money into the overall estate. Why? Because if he has to touch it, he gets to bill for it. And up until now, he has billed over $21 million for managing the bankruptcy reorganization. And right now, he has your money in the crosshairs. And he's going to try to approach the district court and convince the district court as impossible it is for me to conceive that this district court would ever permit this, because it causes a lot of problems for the district court, he's trying to get the district court to agree that it should be kicked back to the bankruptcy court, or that he should be in charge or he should be in charge of dispersing the assets. And I'm sure that'll be a long time from now, if ever. He's trying to basically get purported victims who aren't you to dip into your money. It's completely inappropriate. We're going to fight it. He tips his hand, and I think shows impure motive in some of his statements to the bankruptcy court, because I've reviewed the transcripts. There's some alarming things that he says, and we've made some of those things, without making it personal, we've made some of those things evident to the district court overseeing the criminal matter. For instance, at the August 29th court proceeding, he painted really an unflattering picture where he seemed to be motivated by profit rather than actually helping out the victims. His ambiguous stance on defining victims, where it's sort of like he gets to determine who the victims are and who can file for claims against the estate. He seems to think that it's solely within his prerogative. The best approach that we can hope for is that the criminal court will exert supervisory control and supervision over the government and me, your counsel, so that we can provide the government with whatever authentication they need to get you your money back. And I'm hopeful that when they see the full scope and the context of what's before us and how badly you've been treated, I'm very hopeful that my former colleagues on the other side of the table are going to do the right thing. These are good people. They're devoted public servants, and they really don't like when victims are mistreated. And I think that when we explain to them exactly what's happened here, we give them the full context, I anticipate that they're actually going to help us to make this right. So keep the chin up. Lastly, I want to make an important point about customer safety. And I want you to know that I am personally protecting you. The Himalaya Exchange has stated serious concerns about the security of its customer data. When asked to demonstrate these issues, the exchange, following its strict security protocols that encompass ID verification and artificial intelligence facial recognition via the Jumio platform, disclosed a shocking incident encountered during a customer's sign-up process. By the way, this is a disturbing image. If you have children in the room, I would not have them. I'd move them out of the room. But what I believe you're going to be seeing is an image that you can see on your screen. And as you can see, if you looked at the bottom of the page, what that male figure is holding, I believe this serves as a stark reminder of the serious threats that you face as Chinese dissidents. To its users, the Himalaya Exchange is more than a financial choice. It often serves as their only protection against the CCP's heavy-handed tactics to suppress opposition. The protection of your identities emerges as a paramount concern, underscored by this harrowing image. This event not only exemplifies the risks faced by you and other users, but also contextualizes the necessity of safeguarding your identities amidst ongoing legal proceedings. The persistent attacks against the Himalaya Exchange from large volumes of false, defamatory social media and the propagation of baseless legal complaints are indicative of a concerted effort, a state-sponsored effort, to take down an entity that stands as a bastion of financial liberty and privacy. These challenges, while formidable, have only reinforced the exchange's resolve to protect its customers and to uphold its values against seemingly insurmountable odds. And a lot of the work that I've done is figuring out how we can get what we need to get done while still preserving your personal information. Given this context, the Department of Justice's actions, if taken with full awareness of the plight of these victims, and I believe this is a consciousness enhancing issue. We need to raise the consciousness, and we need to fully inform the risk assessment capabilities of the Department of Justice so they can do a proper risk analysis and properly recognize that you are at risk. By proceeding with asset seizures, the Department of Justice appears to be exploiting governance mechanisms against the very liberties of individuals, and this really can't stand. I think we have to figure out another way that we can interact with each other to get this resolved. The Department of Justice and the trustee have paraded their actions under the guise of protecting victims. Yet, when it's time to return the seized funds to the so-called victims, they audaciously claim these individuals are not real customers. They claim you are not real customers. You are not real victims. Not a single piece of evidence to back up such a claim. This gross inconsistency is not just troubling, it's a blatant display of opportunism. At least I would say it has the appearance of that for the trustee. And it begs the question, are they acting in the interests of justice? This week, I'm happy to report that we're going to submit to the court a detailed audit report that authenticated every single customer that I claimed is my client. This is going to be a compelling report. It's going to eliminate all doubt. In addition, they did a random sample that was conducted in a cloistered, sterile environment where there could be no inappropriate disclosures. And they did a deep dive and confirmed that, yes, these client files are in order, and yes, they exist, and yes, you retain me to represent you. That's going to happen this week. I want to thank you for being able to address you today. I hope to do this periodically to give you updates. I'm actually very excited about how things have gone. I think I'm very happy with the information we've been able to give to the court and also provide to the bankruptcy trustee and the government that for the first time addresses important context that I think they were missing. You can follow me at Twitter on @BradGeyer, Geyer. My team can be found at Former Feds or at Feds Foundation. It's often staffed by Wolfpack widows. And if you want to know what's in my heart and what I orient my life around and why I'm here to help you, you're trying to gauge what my motivations are and whether I'm real and whether I'm authentic, I want you to go to chbmp.org and chbmp.org/commonalities and formerfedsgroup.org/cases. I'm not going to explain what's there, but there are eyewitness accounts of people who work with me who sympathize and feel very badly about, they're primarily Americans that feel very badly about how you've been treated. They are fellow Wolfpack widows, Wolfpack warriors, fighting for freedom and liberty, medical freedom, restoring informed consent. And they believe strongly that you should be able to have economic freedom like we still have in the United States. And I'm here because they support me. And I support you, and I'm going to continue to fight for you. I'm going to continue to make darn sure that you get all your money back. And I want to let you know that I'm more optimistic than ever that that is going to happen very soon. Thank you very much for your time.